is up, guys? This is the 8th episode of the Fast Break Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Gotzi, and with me today, I have Keegan Turnbow to my left and Tanner Tislin to my right. So this is a continuation of the last episode in which we talked about the Western region of March Madness. This episode, we're going to be talking about the East region. So a previous segment I've done in all my episodes is Obscure Player of the Episode. We had a guy from Kansas last episode. Tanner, did you? I know you had a guess.
I did, and let me tell you, I had a feeling, and what really drove it in was the length of time he spent in Kansas. And he did wear number 34. Is it Perry Ellis?
It is Perry Ellis. It is Perry Ellis. Yeah, he played a while. He's a geezer, as our buddy Miles would say. But this episode, we are doing a player from an Eastern region team, and that team is UConn. And this player wore number 13 throughout college. He's a point guard, played from 2010 to 2014. He was actually drafted 24th overall by the Hornets. He's a two-time NCAA champion in 2011 and 2014. He's a Final Four MVP in 2014. First team All-American in 2014. Bob Cousy Award in 2014. American Athletic Conference Player of the Year in 2014. First team All-American, or first team All-American Athletic Conference in 2014. And first team Big East in 2013. No guy, any guesses?
I think I might be more confident in this one than I was last round.
I think I had it in one of the first three. When you said UConn, I thought, and we'll just have to see if we're right.
Yeah.
Tune in next episode to find out.
Absolutely. So if y'all have any guesses, drop it in the comments below or tweet at our Twitter page on Twitter. That link will also be in the description below. Now let's get right into it. The Eastern region with the number one seed in the region. We got Michigan versus either Mount St. Mary's, Texas Southern. Who y'all got in Mount St. Mary's, Texas Southern? Oh!
I did not expect that question.
I don't know much about either team, so I'm going to go with Mount St. Mary's.
Well, you know what? I am going to go with Texas Southern.
Oh. I'm a split difference. I'm going Mount St. Mary's. So, all right. So we have Mount St. Mary's and Texas Southern. Who y'all got against? Y'all got an upset potentially, or y'all got Michigan?
Believe it or not, I don't. I have the Wolverines.
No, I do too.
I will not have the second 16 over 1 in this game.
Yeah. So we all got Michigan. So this 8-9 classic flip coin. We got LSU St. Bonaventure. Who y'all got in that one?
This one took me a while, and I'm going with LSU. I think they're more battle tested, and that kind of that four-headed monster of theirs will get the job done. But watch out for the Bonnies; they're a good team. Keith?
I'm going with the Bonnies, and to be totally honest, kind of just because of the name, I'm a big fan of the Bonnies. Give it to them.
Yeah, so I actually went with LSU. I really liked how they played in the SEC tournament, upset Arkansas, and played. Should have honestly beat Bama. Trendon Watford's a stud. So I got LSU winning that one. Yeah. Next matchup, we have Colorado Georgetown. Who y'all got in that one? Keegan?
Yeah. In this game, it's really difficult to go against one of the teams that have been finishing probably the hottest out of anyone in the country in Georgetown. It's going to be really hard to go against them. So I won't. I'm going with Georgetown.
I'm also going with Georgetown.
Clean sweep. Patrick Ewing gets it done.
Yeah. And Georgetown's obviously riding that Coach Thompson, I believe, when they won. It was like
Team of destiny.
yeah. So they're
Talented
riding
season.
more than a hot streak. They're also playing for something. Florida State, UNC, Greensboro. Who y'all got there?
I got Florida State in this one.
Florida State as
Someone
well.
else.
Yep, that's a clean sweep. Now this one I struggled with. Michigan State, UCLA with the 11th seed. Who y'all got there?
I got the Spartans. I think they're just a better team.
Spartans have played more competition. They're in the toughest conference. A lot of analysts have said they should have been in the round of 64. So I got the Sparties.
As do I. They're going to be a really difficult team to buck off when they had some big wins down the stretch in order to get into contention with contention for this spot. So battle tested. I can't say anything more that hasn't already been said.
So if they beat UCLA, they play BYU. Who y'all got in that one?
I'm rolling with Sparty. I think, again, as for the things we mentioned, they've played the best competition. They've taken down, what was it, four top 10 teams in a week or something. They're playing a little bit better. They'll have the hot hand from just beating UCLA. I'm rolling with Spartans.
I'm also rolling with the Spartans. It's hard to bet against Tim Izzo.
Tom.
Tom Izzo. There you go. In March Madness, so I'm going with Spartans.
I'm following suit. I was going to mention something about good old Tommy Izzo, but there's a coach right there with some championship experience. And it's going to be really hard to not see them at least moving to what would be their third game of the first weekend.
Absolutely. Next, we have Texas Abilene Christian. Who y'all got there?
Rolling with the Horns.
Yep, Longhorns for me as well.
I was thinking hard about going with Abilene Christian, but we will have Texas moving on.
And now UConn, Maryland. This was a tough matchup for me just because of how good the Big Ten has been and Maryland obviously being a part. But who y'all got? UConn, Maryland.
I believe you're going to go with UConn just based on the way that you're talking there. For the same reasons that you said, I will be going with Maryland, though.
I got UConn in this. I just think they're a better team, and I think they're the best player on the floor. James Bouknight.
James Bouknight. That was my deciding factor in that one as well. And then Alabama versus Iona.
Sorry, Mr. Pitino. I'm going with the Tide.
Yeah, roll Tide.
I had no clue that Patino was with Iona until literally just last night. I was like, do I go with Patino? No cheating here. We're going with
What was the
Alabama.
stat they
Oh,
love to say?
The stat, in case you haven't seen any sort of coverage on March Madness yet, Rick Pitino is the third
coach.
head coach to take 5 different programs to the Big Dance.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I forgot about that one after seeing it like 10 times.
yeah. All right. So, in the second round, our first matchup, we have Bama, UConn. You have Maryland, Bama.
I'm going bottom up.
Bottom
I will
up.
go with Bama moving on to the Sweet 16.
I have Bama as well.
It's March for a reason. I've got the Huskies. Huskies always seem to make noise in March. Wish I had some more hard-hitting analysis than I do. James Bouknight gets it done. Sometimes your gut feels it, and I got the Huskies moving on.
That was another tough one for me. Bama is a team of runs, and if they're not hitting their shots, they struggle. And I would not be surprised if we see UConn with the upset right there. But following suit, we have Michigan State, Texas. You already got there.
Oklahoma Horns.
Yep, Oklahoma.
Same here.
So clean sweep for Texas right there. Next is Florida State, Georgetown. You got there.
I don't think that this team will be rolling too much farther after this game, but their hot streak will continue into the second weekend. But Georgetown moves on.
I'll tell you, Florida State, I think, is the hardest team to predict for me. And people say this a lot, but I really think they're either going to the Final Four or not making the Sweet 16. And as you said, Georgetown's got the hot hand. Patrick Ewing and the Hoyas march to the Sweet 16.
So I'm actually going to go against the grain. I'm actually going Florida State, and my reasoning is, when does Georgetown's flame go out? They've been so hot. There's at some point going to be a downfall, and I think that is going to be against Seminoles. And now we have Michigan versus either the Bonnies or the Go Tigers.
Thanks, Coach O. I tell you, I went back and forth a lot on this one. I think LSU has some really good ball players, and they're playing really well, as we said in the latter half of the SEC tournament. And Michigan not playing so hot. Isaiah Livers out, but I'm still going with the Wolverines.
Yeah, I will be going with the blue in this matchup, but I may have to rethink my brackets. I don't want to disrespect Coach O in the round of 64.
So I actually have the Tigers. As you mentioned, Livers is out. We saw him struggle in the Big Ten tournament, and there's no better conference than the Big Ten, and they have Livers and they struggled. I think if they end up beating LSU, they're going down next round. So that being said, who do y'all have coming out of the Sweet 16? Or who y'all have in the Sweet 16, sorry.
So moving out of the Sweet 16, I will have Michigan topping Georgetown. We were talking about when is Georgetown's flame going to go out after taking another week off following the week between the conference championship games and the games coming up this weekend. With another week off to kind of cool down a little bit, Michigan is going to have further time to adjust to the Livers loss. I have Michigan moving on to the Elite Eight in that matchup.
I have the exact same matchup, and for the exact same reasoning, I'm going the Wolverines.
So I actually have LSU and FSU. I'm going with the Seminoles. LSU's flame can run out at some point, I think, and I think it's against the Seminoles. Now we have who y'all got coming out of Michigan State, Texas, and UConn, Bama.
Out of that one, I have Alabama, and I believe I have Texas in that one. And there's a stat out there floating around that says that no team that started the year outside of the top 10, that started outside the top, the AP ranking, that finished in the top 10, that is a 2 seed or higher. No team fitting that description has made it past the Sweet 16. With that being said, I don't think there's a year better than this for a streak to be broken. So I have Alabama moving on to face Michigan in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, and in that matchup, mind you, I got the Huskies beating Bama, and then Texas beating Michigan State. And in that matchup, I do lean Texas. I think those big athletic guards that Texas has will be able to slow down James Bouknight, and the Horns move to the Elite Eight.
Yep, I have Texas, Bama. I think Texas, just with their experience, they have a lot of upperclassmen in Matt Coleman, Aaron Jones, and some young talent in Greg Brown. And Shaka Smart's just a hell of a coach. And I think they get done against the Tide. So coming into the Elite Eight, who y'all got advancing to the Final Four, and what's your matchup in the Elite Eight?
My matchup in the Elite Eight is Michigan, Texas. And again, a lot of debating. But if Isaiah Livers is out, which it looks like it's very possible and probably even probable that he will, I think Shaka is back to the Final Four for the first time since he did it with VCU. I'm going with the Horns.
So I have FSU, Texas, and for those same reasons, I'm going with the Longhorns.
We got some discrepancies in our matchups in this one. I have Michigan and Bama. We talked earlier about how Bama did not finish out too hot, or at least struggled in the championship game. With plenty of time to buff out those scratches, this week to be able to learn from their close win over LSU. I do think that what their experience gained here is going to be enough to overcome Michigan and also certainly help with them not having livers.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we've all gone through our picks, who's that one team that's kind of flying under people's radar that could make a run to Sweet 16, Elite 8 region? Who y'all think that could be?
I think that this team fits part of that description. The reason I won't say Georgetown is because I don't think they're flying under anyone's radar. Having made a run late, won their conference championship, I don't think they're going to surprise anybody by having a hot hand. Instead, I here am going to go with somebody that you had going on a bit of a run. I'm going to have LSU. I don't have them winning their first round matchup, but undeniably, they proved something in that game against Bama. Bama is a top 10 team. They are high quality.
And Arkansas the day before, might I add.
Yeah. They went toe-to-toe with very elite programs in the basketball scene. Without livers, Michigan could be very suspect. So I would not be surprised by a Sweet 16, maybe even a Final Four run from the 9th seed.
Tanner?
I agree with that. Actually, they're an 8 seed, but
Yes,
just so
sir.
you throw that out there, not but
Not taken. Gotta get it right.
But I'm gonna go with the team I talked about a little bit before, and that's UConn. I think they get Bama in that second game, and then I think Texas will beat them. But look, UConn's a pretty good team with a very good bona fide star, and I think they can make some noise down the stretch. So I'm going with the Huskies as a team I think can make a run.
Yeah. I'm going to say Georgetown. I think they are flying under people's radar. I think a lot of people kind of have overlooked them. Kind of luck of draw, they end up winning their conference. But again, as we said, time and time again, wins their flame coming out. Or do they ride out to the Elite 8, Final Four? Who knows? That it's March, baby, and I'm here for it. So, yeah, that would be our wrap on the East. Any other comments on the Eastern region?
I do believe that it would be fantastic. Capping off that note on when's the flame going to go out, this team somewhat reminds me of the Jim Valvano-led NC State team. I think that this team is hitting their stride at the right moments, and they have a coach that certainly has a bit of a flame in him. We've seen it over the years before our time in the NBA, but he was recently disrespected by some of the workers up at MSG, and so what better time than now for Patrick Ewing to reinsert himself into the limelight, into the prime time, into March Madness.
All I gotta say, hook 'em horns.
Yes, sir. Well, that is all we have for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends, and hope to see y'all next episode. Thanks for tuning in. That one. Yep.